The Bite Me podcast is coming right up, and it is brought to you every week right here on YouTube by Freedom Boats. It is the best shallow running boat on the water, and there is a model perfect for you. The Chiquita 14, the Eagle 16, the Patriot 18, the Commander 21, the beautiful Warrior like I have 23, or the big boy that runs so shallow, the General 26. Chet Moore and Pooty can customize it however you'd like, and there's a dealer near you, whether it's the Boatyard in Kemah or dealerships in San Antonio, Beaumont, Corpus Christi, Port O'Connor, Houston, and Aransas Pass. Freedom Boats or freedomboatsusa.com. We got the band back together. How about that? We got everybody back on it. Captain Dean is, man, it's like riding a bike. He comes back from Costa Rica, boom, catching redfish right out of the chute. Captain Caleb is here. Captain Scott is here. And, of course, me, John Lopez, with you guys here on the Bite Me Show. And dang glad to be back. You know what's really cool? Before I get all the particulars out of the way, it's cool to be missed. We didn't do a video last week. We did just an audio podcast. And I got a couple of text messages, man. And there was some posts on the group page. Hey, you guys going to be live on TV? Well, we generally are every week at 3:30 right here on YouTube. Just search the YouTube channel. You'll be able to find it. But they missed our ugly mugs, man. They missed our ugly mugs. We'll get to the guys here in just a bit. But do want to remind you to subscribe wherever you get your podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube channel I mentioned, of course, and all the other good stuff, including the Bite Me group page on Facebook, where we get a lot of these texts, a lot of these messages, a lot of these topics. But let's dig in, man. I don't like to waste a lot of time. Got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Go ahead, Caleb.
I missed y'all so much that I sat here for 15 minutes yesterday and pretended y'all were coming.
I wondered about that. I was
early. I was 5 minutes early, and I was so proud, and nobody was here to see it.
Are you telling the truth? Seriously?
I was like, dude, I swear to you. I was sitting there, and I was like, huh. And where's everybody at?
How many texts did I send, Scott?
It's Tuesday.
3, 4, and an email. Hey, guys, next week, we're not going to do the video thing. Dean and I are going to be in Costa Rica. Hey, don't forget.
You must have sent that with the rundown.
Yeah, I probably did send it with the rundown. But before we get to some of these topics I want to dig into, there's a lot to cover, including one that comes off of our trip, our trip to Costa Rica. But how you guys doing this week? Let's help our guys right here. Dean, I said it was like riding a bike. I'm going to start with you. We get back on, I guess Friday. Was it
Thursday, show Friday, show Saturday.
That's right.
Sunday, I was like Jesus. I rested.
On the seventh day?
Yes.
You rested?
Day, I rested.
Then you get back on the water and boom, you're catching fish 2 days in a row. How's it been?
It was good. The wind is blowing now, though, man. So, Monday was 20 plus from the north. Well, actually, Sunday was like 40. We had gale warnings and stuff offshore. Then it blew 20. We fished yesterday. Still did great, man. I mean, the wind is what it is, and you better get used to it because it's going to be here for the next 3 months. So it was a good moment. And this morning was beautiful, was pleasant. But man, this afternoon it's tearing it up. Tomorrow's that, but man, the water temperature's up, and except for dealing with the wind, I mean, we got some great fishing ahead of us. It's going to be windy.
And for our weekday challenge that listen to this show, this weekend's going to be pretty damn good. We'll get to that later. Caleb, you been on the water, man? What you been doing? I know you've been spending $380 on baseball gloves.
No, I got a deal, baby.
Got a deal.
Hey, man, birthdays is birthdays, dog.
14. How about that?
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I've been a little emotional today. I almost went and bumped up the wife's Lexapro and snorted me one this morning.
Just wait till your youngest one of 3 turns 30, and now 31.
I don't know what to do when 18. He's probably gonna live with us till he's 30, and I'll be singing a different story. But right now, 18 seems gloomy.
But you've been on the water.
I've been dabbling around in the river and stuff. I mean, that's I'm fishing a tournament next weekend, and Alan, my partner, called me up and said, "What's going on in Matagorda?" I said, "It's all dry. I haven't looked at any of it." Right now we're having foot tide swings. It's like 4 inches above normal to 4 inches below normal. Does that make a foot? I don't know. Either way,
That's 8 inches.
Well, I'm trying to convert 0.3. Okay. All right. I don't know, but we've been having
Look on
tides.
Scott's face.
I've been playing in
That
the
wasn't even a hard. That's like 4
Yeah.
and 4.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's 0.3 above 0 and 0.3 below 0. Well, 0.3 is 4 inches.
Yeah, that's
So-
8 inches.
And yes, and
Yeah.
0 is 0.
But a 0.3 to a 0.3 doesn't make a 1.0.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's
Yeah.
0.6.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Wonder
that
you got out of oil
math.
business.
Yeah, I didn't do good with graphs in high school. Now that I'm picturing it in my head.
No.
Anyway.
I was gonna say, no wonder your wife married you. If that's how you do math, when you
She's good at
measure it.
math. She is the only reason that Cade passes the class. She says, "Hey, help Cade with his math homework." I said, "How much do you want me to yell at him, and it'd be my fault?"
And not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Any fish though?
Man, there's been fish crawling on the edges. Like I've been in deep channels, just messing around the edges, puttering around, and I haven't gotten super serious. I'm playing with different stuff on the boat and things like that. But
Mhm.
they're doing what we talk about. They're kind of in some deeper water, and they pull up on the edges when it gets sunny but the big exciting spring stuff, I haven't seen any of that just yet. But the fishing doesn't suck.
Yeah. Well, Scott, what
So,
I was
Caleb, I
go
have a
ahead.
question. So, is that river green right now? I mean, it hasn't rained in forever. It's got to be salty and have some great speckled trout in there.
It has to have a color to be green, and it is that stinking clear. But yes, the answer is green as green can be. It's the only thing that's going to shut down a bite in there is a backside of a moon with barometric pressure being high with no tidal movement. If you get all three of those, it's pretty hard to get a bite. If you have 2 or less of those, it's been okay.
Yeah, Scott, Caleb's math notwithstanding, what I was going to ask you about, first of all, if you've been out, what you've been doing, but the tides all of a sudden seem to be moving a little bit.
Yeah, they're moving. Apparently a foot. I don't know.
It's big tide, really big
At
tide.
least 8 inches.
Yeah. That's at least 8.
And Weller says no fish in the river at all. Nobody believes you. Nobody believes you.
Says the
Go
guy
ahead.
with the house on the river.
Yeah, go ahead, Scott.
Nah, we went down negative 0.25 today, and it's up almost 0.6 now. So, yeah, it's moving pretty good.
What does
I
that add
don't
up
want
to?
Caleb to have to do math again, but
It's moving crazily good for a half moon, really.
yeah,
in my opinion.
it's straight up, straight down. And then-
I like the way you added that little 5 in there at the end to really make it confusing instead of just big numbers.
Yeah.
big numbers like 4.
Yeah, like 4 plus 4.
Hey, there was points in there.
There was points. There was points. I'll give you credit for doing the 0.3 into 4
Hey,
inches.
listen. 0.3 is 4, and if you do a 0.3 all the way around to another 0.3, it's not a 1.0.
Even with the point, the numbers stay the same.
Well, you gotta do the decimal.
You got, hey, at least something stuck. At least something stuck from back in the day. You know what?
All my time hiding in the library, dog.
That's right.
You should have read the books while you were in there.
So let's
John,
get to,
John, you can't talk today. Sorry, we're just gonna
That's
talk
all right.
over you the whole time.
You know what? I'm good with that.
Welcome back.
I
Welcome back.
I am more than good with that.
For everybody out there in the crowd, me and Scott did offer to do a show on our own while they were gone, and we got shot down by
Did you really?
by flak, mortars, and fires.
I don't remember you doing that.
It happened.
I don't think it did. I really don't think
We
it
were going to
did.
take care of y'all while y'all were gone. It would have
I
been a problem at all.
You did mention it?
I mentioned it. You glossed right over it.
Yeah. Well, I wonder why. I wonder why I did. But speaking of the Costa Rica trip, there's always a topic, man. That's the best thing about this show. No matter what we're doing, what we're talking about, whether it's the rivers or a trip we happen to take, there's always a topic there. And this time, the topic is about the most memorable fight that you've ever had with a fish. But there's a lot more there because we were in Costa Rica. And, Scott, I'm going to start with you because we always talk about the mindset that you have. What's your goal? What's your real goal? And are you willing to sacrifice nothing for that something? Willing to fish all day, that kind of stuff. I think on the YouTube channel, Dean mentioned this on the video we did. The last time we tried to go out and get tuna, we were out there, saw the tuna, never got the bite, couldn't reach them, all that stuff, and we went home. This time we went 5+ hours without a bite, and then all of a sudden Dean catches a hell of a tuna, then I catch a tuna, and that was that. But that's where I'm starting, because everything that we did there, everything that you fish really anywhere in the world can translate to what we're doing here on the Gulf Coast, right?
Sure. I mean, you stick with it, and sometimes you get rewarded, sometimes you don't. That's why we call it fishing.
Yeah, but also the goal. Like, we could have caught something that day. We could have changed plans mid-stride.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing on this tarpon fishing that I do all the time. I get some guys that are full on, don't want to stop to look at the jacks, don't want to mess with anything else. We can go trolling for kingfish if you want to. If it's slow on the tarpon, I got some guys that just hardcore. That's all they want to do is catch a tarpon.
Mm-hmm.
And some days it works, some days it doesn't. Then I got other guys that are really hardcore first thing in the morning and about 10, 11 o'clock without seeing a tarpon. Then they said, well, what else is there out here that we can catch?
And you're like, okay, I've heard that before.
Yeah, I mean, what I found is it's guys who caught a bunch of other stuff, and then that's on their bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a bucket list fish, people tend to stick with it a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm. So, Caleb, I wanted to get to you on this because everybody, and I'm sure this has happened to you a million times. In fact, maybe you'll even give me a percentage of times they say, I want to target a big trout, a trophy trout, 26 plus, whatever it might be, 28 plus. What's the percentage of times that where you go, all right, and you get out there and several hours in, you're waiting or whatever it is, and it's just not happening, or the bites aren't sticking, or whatever it might be, and they go, maybe we just go catch some trout somewhere else or some redfish. What's the percentage there?
99.8 plus 4 inches.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's extremely accurate. Yeah, I can't say that I'm not guilty of it. You let me grind long enough for a big trout and not catch one, and look out in the middle of the bay at some birds working some 16-inchers.
Yeah,
I'll get a little squirrely on you. But yeah, no, that's extreme. That's extremely often. I bet I can count, I don't know, 5 people over the past 12, 13 years or 47, however long I've been doing this, that lasted all day just doing nothing but grinding for them and wanting them. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I can kind of see it too. You're paying to go out and fish, and halfway through your trip, it ain't going the best for us. And hey, I want to say I caught something on the deal. But yeah, no, very common,
especially with trout. Before we get to Dean on this topic, Scott is just turning into a real jerk. He's just turning into an a-hole. I mean, just a total.
See, see, now you try traveling across the world with this idiot.
This guy.
See, he's hard. He's harsh, man.
We were asked here.
The honeymoon is worn off, man, and that's how he treats you.
What an a-hole. So we were asked here on the text board, was that 100-pound tuna? And I got that thing that you get sometimes, Caleb, where I answered, nah, probably 70 plus. We didn't weigh it. Could have been, a little more. And then my comment got rejected because it said it might be spam. But so I didn't get a chance to answer. But Scott sure as hell did. He goes, 45 pounds. 45 pounds.
Whenever
we may have called an expert.
Those 120-pound tarpons, so they say.
Yes.
Scott went full Pawn Stars and said, hold on. I've got a guy.
The best I can do is 45 pounds.
I got a
guy. Sorry, bro. Best I can do is 45. And then he pointed at the wall.
445 pounds.
No, I mean the wall. And there was a dude holding a Volkswagen with fins, and he said, it took us 45 minutes to land that one.
Oh, Lord. I knew this.
But I'll concede. I'm going to bet you they had better gear in San Francisco than they had in Costa Rica.
On that boat, in the little 25-foot.
And they were probably
it was San Diego.
They were in a fighting chair with the real strap to the chair. And of course it can be done. But You know, if you want to be a man about it, you stand up and fight your fish. Chairs are for girls to sit in.
Last time I went third world fishing,
girls sit down to fight their fish, if you know what I'm saying.
Last time I went third world fishing, John, we went like 60 miles offshore, and the deckhand really wasn't much help with the fish because he kept the cowling had been off forever, but every time the motor started to sputter, he had yanked the fuel line off of the motor and suck some fuel and stick it back in there. And we had run one tube of fuel at a time. That's the gear we had.
Damn.
At least our listeners have my back. Everybody's ripping on Scott now. And by the way, I was very consistent with it. When I hooked that fish and it started taking line, the captain said that might be a 100-pound fish. And then it came up about 10 times. And then we talked again and they said 70, maybe somewhere, maybe more, maybe we didn't weigh it, but 45.
What language do they speak in Costa Rica?
Now, what do you think they speak?
He's talking kilograms.
He's talking kilos.
I'm just wondering if maybe whenever he told you how much it weighed, you didn't know that language.
It's Spanish. It's Spanish. Yes.
Did it have the word 40 in it? Because that doesn't mean
45. But you know what? I knew this was coming. We're going to talk. I'm going to skip to the next topic because it ties in with this. Because we had a great time over there. We'll talk about the temperatures here in a little bit, the water temps, because it's crazy, and shrimp and all that stuff. What's happening there? The whiplash effect of shrimp. I want to ask the boys about that. But so we're in Costa Rica, and one of the fellas that went with us, well, two, Rob and Trip. I won't mention their last names because I don't know if they want their last names out here, but Rob and Trip, big time fly fishermen, to the point of, they brought their own gear, which is cool. And on every trip, they were finding their windows to do some fly fishing, whether it was for roosters or jacks, or I think they got a sail, etc. But we were giving those guys just a hard time the whole time. I was telling Trip about, because I was basically describing the typical fly fisherman, which Trip looks like the typical fly fisherman. I said he had $800 pants, which really struck a nerve, by the way.
Well, you're not allowed to be a fly fisherman and not look like that.
And you have to have a name like Trip.
Yeah,
100%.
How do we blow right past that?
Yes, I should have used that.
You can't be a baseball player if your name ain't Easton.
That's right.
And here's something else I learned. You eat crustless cucumber sandwiches with your pinky in the air.
That's the other thing we were talking about. Like a lot of fly fishermen, and Dean has actually had this happen. Maybe you have too, Scott. You get some guys from, not from Texas, coming down from the rivers of where it's New Mexico, Colorado, whatever. And their lunchtime, they have like a full-fledged lunch with tables they set out and sometimes tablecloths and sandwiches. And so we were talking about the cucumber and cream cheese sandwiches they were eating. And I don't know how, but that struck a nerve too. So
did they talk about what wine goes best with that sandwich?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Hey, some of my favorite customers, they're them types, and they own an olivery. I don't know what you call it, where you make olives.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be a gallon bag, and it would have like 2 cheeses I never heard of in my life, with all these olives and apple slices and a little dab of some sort of wine. And it sounds horrible, dude. Those things are worse than Cheetos. I'd eat the whole bag of them.
I want to go to an olivery.
An olivery. There's a lot wrong with that.
It's pretty good.
Scott, you ever had a guy come on fly fishing that expected you to put forth an entire lunch for him?
No.
Because Dean, you said you did.
Well, that was when I went on the river trips with the river guides for them trout.
The fanciest
speckled river trout. But
yes, lunch I ever had was with Everett Johnson. He puts bread, man.
Yeah.
That's just wade fishing.
I feel like lunches are pretty fancy on my boat with the bean and cheese tacos, but
yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. But again, I just said a little while ago, there's always a topic, right? There's always a topic. So I'm going to name the type of fisherman that we all come across on the water, and you describe, just hop in, raise your hand or whatever if you have something, what that fisherman looks like and anything else you think about that fisherman. Let's start with fly fisherman. Somebody on the text board said Flip. Flip is usually a fly fisherman's name, like Trip and Flip and all that. But I'm gonna start with Scooter. That's right. And they've got those really cool $800 pants and the flip flops. By the way, they always wear flip flops, don't they? Describe a fly fisherman that's gonna come onto your boat.
Flat bill hat, rope bill. For some reason, he's got a belt with a leather sheath with pliers in it. Whenever I'm the one that unhooks every damn fish, I don't know why I brought them.
Do you know how much those pliers cost?
Because we do.
$450.
Me and Scott both have a pair of them, and I'll wear them just so everybody else knows that I'm part of it when I drive by on my tower boat. It's like a little click-in thing.
And here's another one that's almost exclusive: is they white out their whole face with sunscreen. I mean, not like a layer.
Because
it is like
listen,
makeup sunscreen.
See, y'all are just jealous because if you could have $1,200 worth of pants and pliers, you would do it. But the reason they put on all this sunscreen is because they have money and they have something to live for. We don't care.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Something to live for.
That is plausible for sure.
Okay, so you know what? You hit the nail on the head. I don't know what it is. And Scott, you're next. Describe a fly fisherman, but the sunscreen, I'm like, dude, you can rub that in, you know. I'm like
But see, when they get off of your boat, they always hand you a card and there's some kind of doctor and there, if like anything you ever need, I could help you out. Like that's also a fly fisherman thing.
Well,
they all have a card.
Funny you said that too.
Something that can change your life. Every damn one of them.
So it's funny you would mention that because Trip actually did my surgery.
And Rob is a surgeon too.
Check.
Yes.
It's almost
and
like
Rob,
we do this for a living, Scott.
They were both surgeons. So
I'll tell you what else they hand you when they get off the boat is a big old tip.
Yes.
Well, yeah, so that's why you're being nice. That's why Scott's being nice.
I like $800 pants. I like fancy pliers. I like sunscreen. I like cheese. I like it all.
Cucumbers
with cream cheese and no crust.
Scott's being strategic right now. He's like, these two a-holes ain't going to get any more fly trips. They're all mine. But wait.
Every mistake I've ever made is somebody walking up to my booth and saying, hey, I'd like to book a fly trip. And me going, you know what? My buddy Scott Knowles the guy for you. That's every mistake I've ever made in fishing was sending one of them away from my booth.
That's a $500 tip right there.
No, that's the shitty ones.
All right, so let's get to the next one here. This is a game changer, people. Show your boat how much you love it. Take it to Gulf Coast Marine Shield. When I say a complete game changer, it doesn't even do justice how much better, more efficient, and gorgeous your boat will be. New boat, older boat, big boat, or small boat. Gulf Coast Marine Shield offers incredible surface protection from marine protection film to window film, as in your electronics, and ceramic coatings. Your boat will never look better, and it all adds up to complete protection from salt, sand, while helping protect your paint and gel coat. 832-930-5655, Gulf Coast Marine Shield. Describe a polling platform guy. Who wants to join in on that one?
Oh, look like Santa Claus was here when the Spartans were.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we basically just covered like 90% of that.
Yeah, we did. Except they're always barefoot.
Yeah.
No.
Well, to be fair, the fly fishermen better be barefoot too. Flip flops don't happen.
But what they do is when you step on their boat, they follow you around with a towel and wipe up your footprints.
Scott, are you going to defend yourself here?
They stand on the platform, and since you're there for casting lessons, they make fun of you and your casting and tell you suck, and there's no reason to take lessons.
Go ahead.
That was just you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, y'all missed me completely. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean,
you used to pole barefoot exclusively.
Yeah, I used to. When I had a polling platform that didn't have an edge to it, so I could figure out where that edge was all the time.
Yeah.
What I got now has got this little bump around the edge of it, so I wear shoes.
Okay.
It's better with. I don't know. I think it's a little better with shoes, but the fly fishermen don't wear shoes if they're really good. That fly line goes under your feet, and you can't feel it with shoes on.
Okay. I didn't even
So
know that
most
part.
of them, yeah, most of them will go barefoot out there.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then I'll have one wear socks, and that's always kind of weird. They just wear socks.
Black
But-
socks, the crew socks.
They're just, yeah, I mean, I know what they're doing. They're trying to keep their feet from getting sunburned, but it still
Yeah.
looks a little weird. But
I'm anxious to get to tower boats.
Oh, I'll put that one. But go ahead, Scott.
but yeah,
Easy.
Didn't have that one.
I
I'm
can
at
tell
it.
you one
Fan
sure
boats,
thing
put fan
on
boats on it too.
one of the sure things on the Poland skiff guide is they're in better shape than the guys who run around.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm not going to necessarily disagree with that too much. That's
Well,
for sure.
that comes from eating cucumber sandwiches and avocado and
No, it comes from shoving a boat around with two guys on the front of it.
no, it's a lifestyle that extends beyond the boat.
Yeah, it is. All right, here's a good one. Describe kayakers.
Damn, I wanted to do tower boats first.
We'll get there. We'll
I
get
got a
there.
list.
We'll get there next. Kayakers. They've
Armed
got
and dangerous.
armed and dangerous is one. I was
Hate
thinking.
wildlife. Little
Well,
little
they hate
floaty one.
wildlife. They hate wildlife except one particular weed. One very particular.
no,
weed.
that's the Poland skiff guys.
No,
Yeah,
I've never.
that is
You have to fail a drug test at the bank to get a loan for a Poland skiff. It's
Man.
part of the
Run me-
application.
I have yet to meet a kayaker, including my son, that doesn't partake. I'll put it that way. At least a little bit. They're getting out there and they're just getting that one with nature.
Yeah, you hear them coughing back there in the bushes.
That's right. All right. Tower boats. Describe a tower boat guy.
Okay. First of all, they wear white rim sunglasses. The white glasses are like
Absolutely.
it comes with the boat. Sound system that you can hear from Galveston to Corpus Christi. Disco blinking lights in the water, above the water, on the engine, and anywhere else you can screw a light. They got blinking lights under their truck. They got lights everywhere. Light bars. Man, I just I could go around the list. Don't give a shit who they run over any given time or any given day. They own the water.
Mhm.
Damn, Scott, what am I forgetting?
A sun mask because they don't want to be identified.
Sun masks. So
Oh
you
yeah,
can't,
the little buff.
you can't testify in court against them.
I knew this was going to be good. All right, here we go. Describe the quote.
Hey, wait a minute, Caleb didn't do
Oh,
tower
Caleb,
boat.
yeah, hit us, Caleb. You are a tower boat guy.
Okay, first off, assholes, I don't own a buff sun thing because again, nothing to live for. I have black sunglasses. I do have blinking lights all over my boat, including underwater. However, that boat has never been wet when it was dark, so we're good on that. All right. I don't even have a stereo. Funny enough about the not being identified, however, though, because every time somebody does run me over, they always go, "Oh man, I didn't know that was you." Like, how unique is my boat in a harbor that you see me every day? Natty Light, Perry, Natty
Yeah.
Light.
Yeah,
think.
okay.
No, man, obviously, but I only have half of a tower, so I
yeah,
haven't
the
fully
mid tower.
I haven't fully committed.
All right. Here's another one. The quote open boat / cleaning table guys. Describe them.
Ooh, I'm staying out of this one.
Come on now. Come on. They're all scratching their head. Should I?
No.
Should I or should I not? Should I?
Hey, would you believe that Arkansas State's up 7-2 in Arkansas right now, drawing crazy, right?
We're not talking about that.
So that's the dude that goes on and it's like, I got an open boat this week, $100 a person. Come on and jump in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to like you have to put the caveat in there that it's an incredibly underpriced open boat.
Yes.
'Cause,
Yes.
I mean,
So you get what you pay for.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you've got if I have a guy that just wants to go but can't afford it by himself, I could say open boat, but the trip still costs $850. So we're talking like the Groupon 350 open boat guides. Go, Dean.
Come on, don't be bashful.
They're standing in. You can find them because they're standing in line at the croaker stand.
There we go.
Use the term "got it done" in their Facebook post.
Oh
Whack
yeah,
them and stack them.
Whack them. Yeah, I was gonna
Whack
say-
them and stack them.
Yeah, whack them is always in their post.
Slow motion stringer shot.
Picture of an ice
Ooh.
chest full of black drum.
Mhm. See, I knew you guys could do it. Caleb, I don't want to gloss over what you said. The slow motion stringer coming out of
Yeah.
the water
Yeah, and there's like
over the
there's
shoulder.
like the sound effect where it goes douche.
And we're not going to leave anybody untouched here, so to speak, including people like me, the weekday challenged. Describe the weekday challenged guys on the water that you come across.
Fishing
One
in the
step
channel.
One step under blue hair and protest when you talk about them.
They're at the ramp loading their boat.
Mhm.
Gear.
Yeah,
Broken propellers. They keep the propeller dude in serious business.
And they got the headlights on while they're launching.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they
Yes.
backing down the ramp, blinding everybody at the marina.
Sherman just texted all caps, dumbass.
I'm gonna be honest. I call them subscribers, and I love every one of y'all. Thank you.
It's what's funny here is you are all protecting your own interests. Every one of you.
What?
Well, maybe not Dane.
Was it George Carlin? There's just some things you don't say in public.
Yeah.
John? Okay, that's good advice.
Yes. Do waiters?
They
Go
have
ahead.
towboat on speed dial.
Oh, yeah, it's locked in their phone. Towboat USA.
So we have mutual friends. Got it.
I'm surprised none of y'all said they'll run right past your drift or right in front of your drift or your wade.
They don't
That's
get where I fish on most days.
They
They're
do
in
that.
the channel.
Let me ask you this before we move on here. Do waiters have a description that fits them?
Angry.
Always angry.
Angry.
That's my spot guy. That's what waiters are.
You're just angry.
You're running too close,
Yeah, I mean, 'cause a red fisherman that's waiting is just a confused soul. So most of your wade fishermen are going to be trout people, and they're angry. Have I said
Well,
angry?
the wade guys, they jump out and they spread 4 people on 2 miles of shoreline, and they think they own all 2 miles of that shoreline now.
boy, that's a good point. And that's a
Until
real
a
good.
power boat comes through them. Show them what's up.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
Then you end up on Facebook viral.
Yes.
Or talked about here. Yeah.
And they're always motioning with their palms up. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, like, what's going on, man? What are you doing? What are you doing?
That means, hey, have y'all tried over here where I'm at?
Come on in. Oh boy, I knew that would be fun. Hey, we haven't.
Hey,
talked
you left out one category. Are we at the end?
Yeah, what is it?
Hot liquors.
Oh, just describe a pot liquor.
That came up in conversation on
Okay.
the boat today.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
The person who had never found their own fish and all they do is chase other boats around. It's a real thing.
It seems
That's
like
that's a
category.
definition.
Here's what's great. So you're the only boat in the bay. Tuesday, middle of February, nobody. And here they come. What? It's like, you got to be kidding me, man. I mean, I'm the only boat out there, and you're going to come in. I mean, I could have told him, it's like, hey, man, you want to watch me fish? You could turn on my YouTube channel.
So that's how Dean's morning went.
Yeah, that's how Dean. Now we know a little bit.
But
How
I
that
mean,
went.
no, that, and so whether it's the winter, summer, there are boats that run around and all they do is look for other boats, and they're going to shove right in there with them because they think they're on fish and pot liquors.
Pot lickers listen to songs such as Danger Zone when they're leaving the marina.
Hey. That's a tradition unlike any other.
And pot licking tower boaters crank that up.
You guys know you think of me every time you hear Danger Zone, don't you?
I feel like we could do airboat people, but the show might get canceled because I don't have a feeling one way or the other, but I feel like Scott and Dean do.
I also feel like pot liquors is a subcategory of 2 or 3 of these others. Like it could be a subcategory of the open boat guys.
Boat trip. Yep.
It could be a subcategory of the weekday challenged. It could maybe even be a subcategory. No, I guess that's it, because I was going to say waiters, but waiters are just going to do that anyway.
Now we're just thinking way too much into this stuff.
We are. So let's move on.
We are committing to getting messages on Messenger in about 6 hours.
The thing is, who's going to be mad at us, other than everyone? So it's the same for everyone.
Just keep it consistent. We're good, right?
That's right. We treated, including ourselves, we treated everybody the same.
What about fishing guides? Let's go ahead on and do guides real quick.
I can't believe I didn't think.
Oh, dude, I can do guides for days.
Let's go. Let's go. Describe fishing guides.
Always expect a discount. Discounted enough. Always expect it for free. Park in the crappiest places in the world in their boat. Block everybody from fuel pumps and say, I'm just waiting to pick up my customers. Use the term I'm a guide at least 4 times in each conversation. You cannot you cannot say anything that doesn't include for my trip, on my trip, or in my trip, or during my trip. You got to say my trip, because you have to let everyone know that you indeed have a trip. There's no way about it. Whenever you are doing something that is pissing everybody off, all you do, look up, say, I'm a guide. It's all forgiven because you're a guide. You can do anything you want, anytime you want, because I'm here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I fish this bay 5 days a week. I can pull up and tie off to you if I want to, because you don't.
Or I'm out here making a living. You're just fishing.
I'm feeding my family.
That's right.
Got to feed my family.
Caleb, you weren't kidding. You went through a whole litany of
He's good.
things.
I mean, if we're going to talk trash about other people, might as well just wear one.
Yeah, exactly. Scott, describe guides.
The kindest, gentlest soul.
Yeah, I knew it. I set him up. And he fell for it. That was a hook. That was a hook right there. I know Scott's like, I got to protect my interests here, man.
Hey, everything I said, all 3 of us have done at some point.
Of course.
When you're a young guy and all excited about it, you say stuff like on my trip all the time.
Yeah.
It depends on the audience, man. If it depends on who.
It don't matter. It has happened. It has happened.
Here's my favorite. And all 3 of you, and probably me at some point, have done this. You try to explain why the fish didn't bite right there where you just were. Well, the time here is probably about an hour behind. Blah blah blah, or this or that.
Oh, those are should have been here yesterday.
That's not accurate at all. You don't use past or current things. You say, man, we had a little bit of wind, they'd be eating. But if it's windy, you go, man, if we had a little less wind, they'd be eating. Cloudy. If it's cloudy, like, man, if we get that sun to come out. If it's not cloudy, man, we get some clouds to roll in. And if it's cold, man, if it be warmer. If it's warm, man, if it's a little cooler. There's bait everywhere, man. There's too much bait. No bait, man. There's just not enough bait.
Water's a little too low right here, but then you always put the good spin on it. I think let's take a ride, as Dean likes to say.
Man, if that weatherman hadn't have screwed us, we'd be on them right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Can y'all believe that I didn't cancel this trip? I thought it was going to be blowing below 35 for sure.
And by the way, the texts are just awesome. Sherman is at the top of his game. Venus is not aligned with Mars today. Fishing sucks.
That's when you break out them sandwiches and try to be entertaining.
Exactly.
That's why Scott knows so much damn history about everywhere he's fished at.
That's right.
I didn't listen to his interview, but I bet it was stellar. All the little nuggets he could drop about his base system.
Oh man, by the way, we got some great feedback on that last week.
That means you have sucked in every corner of your base system.
This is true. Hey, we didn't even talk about the fishing show, man. It was just this past week. We need to get into that a little bit. And I was only there one day because my granddaughter called on Saturday. I was going to go Saturday, and she wanted to see Grandpa. So of course everything stops when that happens. But from what I saw, and I'm really going to lean on you guys on this. That was a hell of a fishing show.
The best
That was
one in
about
10 years.
that. I was just going to ask you, Caleb. I'll start with you, then get to Scott, because from what I saw, I mean, I was like, wow, this is like old, like the good old days, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was closer. Man, the good old days were shoulder to shoulder. So the reason that show did so good is they had it downtown, and on the weekdays, all the business guys would come from their offices and fill it up. And we had NAPE going on next door, so that helped some. When COVID hit, the downtown kind of cleared out. But man, this year when they opened the door the Wednesday, I was like, okay, there's the big push. Now we're going to be bored until Friday afternoon. And it stayed consistent. It was almost every vendor I talked to said they doubled what they had ever done at the show. Angler U, man, we had a great time. Thanks for everybody stopping by. My dude Fish Camp down there, man. If y'all don't know about Fish Camp TV, homie works his butt off, and he's not calling me. I don't know what that was. Homie works his butt off, and go check out Fish Camp TV on YouTube and give him a follow. But no, man, it was awesome. I saw a lot of. I'm good at remembering faces. I'm not the best at names, but faces, and I saw a lot of faces I haven't seen in 5, 6, 7 years show up at that thing. It was a good one.
You've heard Mark Nichols on the podcast, and he's caught more fish and changed the fishing game like few others. Mark and DOA Lures have everything you need and want on the water. That's what we use. DOALures.com is the website. Of course, you got the classic DOA shrimp, but top waters as well. I'm a big fan of the PT7. You see us using that all the time. That is DOA. Get to a retailer near you. They are all over. Or go to DOALures.com and be sure to listen for Mark Nichols on this podcast. They have revolutionized the fishing industry, and they keep doing it. DOALures.com. Scott, I was talking to Emily on Friday afternoon, and they were sending trucks back to Fishing Tackle Unlimited. I mean, they were just cleaned out. It was a hell of a show.
Yeah, we've had shows in the past. We call them buying shows, and then there's looking shows.
Mm-hmm.
And the last few years seem to be more looking shows, and this one seemed to be a buying show. I mean, everybody you saw walking around in there was carrying something.
Yeah,
they were all picking stuff up.
See, we got them right before the show. The main headline was "No more tariffs," so everybody started spending all that money, and then we said, "Watch this."
Psych.
No refunds. No refunds.
Honestly, one of the things me and a couple of reps were talking about, I think it has something to do with the boat show kind of
petering out. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no guides there anymore. Fishing Tackle Unlimited's pulled out of it. There's just not a lot of fishing going on at the boat show. And I think that's a big part of it too. Mm-hmm. And those shows were getting closer and closer together. Years ago, the boat show was the first week of January, and the fishing show was in the middle of March.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a big distance between them. And over the last few years, they've gotten closer and closer together.
Yeah.
And I think they were kind of, vampiring off of each other there.
Yeah.
But now the boat show, like I said, kind of petering out and being more about cars and RVs and stuff, and not as much fishing. I think the guys just didn't go to that one and waited for the fishing show.
Yeah, that could easily be the case. Dean, what I was going to talk to you about is you were there all day Friday, all day Saturday, and talking to people. Well, most of the day Saturday. Most of the day Saturday. Maybe I gave him too
I lost interest about 1 o'clock. Man, look, I was off of a 10-day roadie. The cool thing about the fishing show, though, is, and if you missed it, you missed a really good time and a really good opportunity to see everything you could imagine. Everybody, for once a year, everybody is under one roof. All the reels, all the rods, really obscure tackle that you never knew about. I mean, as I roam around the aisles, I see all kind of cool things that you just don't get to see every day. Guides from Alaska, all over Texas. But to have all that activity under one roof once a year, it's a great opportunity to get and visit with everybody. I see so many friends that otherwise we wouldn't see each other once a year because we just don't cross paths. So that brings everybody together, but jam-packed aisles. I haven't seen that many people in the show probably in 10 years, that kind of congestion. I mean, it even got to where man, like Caleb said, you get that initial rush, and then it was crickets for a couple of days. I mean, where you're standing around talking to the folks in the booth next to you more than the people passing through. Angler U, we were sitting right at the door, and that flow of people never ended from the time. And when they opened it, oh my God, I don't know how many people were standing on the street waiting to come in, because it was a mass of people that flowed in there. So, yeah, and loved getting to meet everybody, say hi to everybody that passed by. I left with a sore throat just from talking for 2 days.
Yeah, usually, like Dean said, usually there's a day or two where you just kind of hang out and talk with your buddies. I got out of my booth once a day. I meant to go talk with Mark at DOA every day of the show. And finally, the last day I left early for Cade's baseball, I walked by his booth. I was like, Mark, I've been trying to get over here for 5 days. He said, hey, man, how are you? I said, unfortunately, I got to get out of here. He goes, I'm tired of you being in my booth already. Get out of here. And I said, I'll see you at ICAST, bud. And no, it was cool. And if you don't go to the show, that is the time, like Dean said, everybody's under the roof. You can meet the owners of every brand that you use.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because Scott, this is what I was going to talk to you about. And I was just there for, a hiccup, basically. You were there all 4 days, but I really tried to work the room and see all my friends, as you guys were talking about, and go to Anglers Anonymous and Wade Ride and all my guys over at Fishing Tackle Unlimited, and Scott. I spent a lot of time with Mark and just everybody I could. And as I'm talking to listeners coming by, and they say, hey, love whatever podcast, all that good stuff, I kind of felt, and tell me if I'm wrong, because this was just my personal feeling as I walked out of there. I kind of felt like a lot of the conversations were not about like how many fish, but how to catch. There was a lot of conversations about conservation, a lot of conversations about the ecosystem and what people can do for it, and thanking me. And I'm sure you got a lot of the same stuff, for the podcast and the show. And, their on-water habits have changed, including guides that have been stacking fish for a long time and have kind of had their eyes open. To me, I walked out of there kind of encouraged, like, people are kind of getting it,
Yeah, my favorite's all the kids.
Yeah.
You get so many kids coming along there, and their dad says, well, there he is. You've been wanting to talk to him. There he is. They kind of push him out there in front of you. And that's encouraging to me, is all the young kids that are really into it. I mean, there was a bunch of kids talking to me about lures and how do you rig this, and how do you do that, and I've heard you talk about this lure or that lure. I want to see it. So I'd take them over to Mark's booth and show them the bait buster or whatever. That part was a lot of fun to me, and more so than talking to the adults. Really talking to those kids.
I remember talking to two fellas in particular. I wish I could remember your names right now. I apologize. But they were in their 20s, and they said, I'm glad you guys are doing this. And Dean, I know you want to jump in here, but they had literally said, we're young guys. We now know what it used to be like, and we appreciate you guys. And I think they appreciate kind of the vibe inside that room. But go ahead, Dean.
Well, and just to follow up on what Caleb said about talking to the owners of the company, and the kids are cool too. Man, I love seeing the whole next generation. There's so many aspects to the show that are actually just so entertaining, from the kids, everything that's there. But to be able to, so like the guys at Bates Reels, the dudes, like the technical leaders of the group were there. So you can stop and you can get with those guys and you can discuss details in a short amount of time that, that's hard to do over the phone. It's hard to do through text. And whether you're at one of the rod booths, with like Waterloo, you can look at from the beginning to the end of the manufacturing process. At FTU, they have some great guys over there, K-Wigs. And I mean, that's just a couple of them. All of those guys will tell you the process of the manufacturing process from the beginning to the end. You meet the people that actually build these things, and it just puts a whole another perspective on if you're interested in that kind of technical data. It is so easy to get it there.
And there's so much on the media out there that the America's youth's going downhill, and you can get your faith restored there at the show. This one kid comes up in my booth, and he had to be like 9 years old, and he is wranglered up and tucked in and everything, and and all them kids, I shake their hand and I get that little weak little hand, hello, mister.
Yeah.
Dude, this kid did the old redneck where like his elbow is like 90 degrees straight out to his thigh. And he smacked, dude. We did like the thumb lock, and then he did that big old shake that like pops your shoulder. He said, "Good to meet you." And we went walking off. I told his dad he's going places. And then I don't know if it's Dean or who is Scott or somebody in the booth with me. When he walked up, they go, "That kid have a dip in?" I was like, "I think so."
That's good parenting. That's what
I'm
is.
talking
Right
about.
there, man.
Oh, it was cool, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I talked to Dean and I talked with Jimmy Burns over at Waterloo, and Hughes at Shimano, and G Loomis
And DOA
and just the detail with which they can go into with anyone. It wasn't just because we were talking to them, like anyone going by their booths. It was great, man. It was
You
encouraging.
start talking to Mark Nichols, man. You better pull up a chair and have a seat and have a cold drink, because it's going to be a minute.
Yeah. It's a regular stop for me, and it should be for you too. Anglers Anonymous in Katy. It's a candy store for fishermen that's going to make your head spin and help make you a better fisherman. You got to see the expanded store too, and you got to chat it up with Mike and Chris Butler, all the guys at Anglers Anonymous. They'll answer your questions honestly, and they'll get you what you need. Reels, rods, lures, they have it all, and apparel that's off the chart. And of course, the calling card service. Real repair, they turn it around for you quickly, and you will be happy. That's Anglers Anonymous in Katy or anglersanonymous.tx.com. All right, so we're going to get to what would Scott do and Caleb and Dean in a minute, but this is a perfect topic to help our listeners right now. This weekend should be pretty dang good. We'll get to that. But water temperatures, Scott, I'm going to start with you because we're going to put a pin in the whiplash effect topic. We'll do that next time. But it ties with this. The water temperatures have been warm and then cold and then warm and just yo-yoing, so to speak. Are we in the early part of a spring? Heaven forbid I jinx it again, which I didn't, by the way. Early part of a transition here into the spring.
And I don't know. We slapped pretty good on this one. It dropped almost 20 degrees pretty quick.
This week, this past weekend, you're talking about.
Yeah, this little front that came through, it was ripping and roaring and dropped down. I was just looking at it a minute ago, and it's back up to 66 degrees already. Yeah, but it dropped down in the low 50s. And I don't know.
What does it mean?
That's some pretty big swings. It probably put them off the feed just a little bit when it dropped that quick, just overnight. But I would imagine that as it's warming up today, that water's coming on up a little bit. They're going to ease back up on the flats, go right back to what they were doing. I mean, other than the water being super low for the last couple of weeks, it's felt like spring.
Yeah.
The fish have been acting right. The bait fish have been all over the place. Got little tiny bait, hatches going off. So we may be a little ahead of schedule, but there's always that one or two that still lingers and comes and slaps us around a little bit. Rodeo's not here yet.
Yeah, that's
Rodeo
always
has at least a day or two of nasty weather.
Yeah. Dean, what are you seeing out there, water temps wise, and the yo-yo effect, so to speak?
Feels very much like springtime here. With the only way to describe spring is unpredictable, because in the last 3 days we had everything from a 40-mile-an-hour north wind to today it's like a 25-mile-an-hour south wind. We were out there hoodied up on Monday. Hoodies, cold, and today is quite pleasant. By the end of the day, I'm down to shorts. It's like so. That is kind of the story of the next month for sure. It is going to change a lot, and hopefully nothing dramatic. Like this one dropped the water temperature a little bit, but really not enough to affect the bite. I mean, from Monday was great. Today was amazing. Not going to fish tomorrow, but starting on Thursday, I got like 4 days in a row. It looks like it's going to be great fishing through Monday. And then actually through next week, it looks very mild, calm, nothing dramatic coming our way.
So what does that mean for the fish, Caleb? If you had to, and let's get right into, we'll transition right into what does it mean for the fish, and what would you do for this this weekend coming up?
I mean, we're starting to warm up and get some spring stuff, and we're hoping they start doing spring things. That in Matagorda, it's forecasted to blow 25 to 40 out of the south. We could get a decent, dang good amount of water back between now and the weekend, and if that happens, that pushes more water up on the flats, and there may dang sure be some fish crawling around up there that are festive and ready to do cool stuff. The barometer is supposed to be pretty low, which usually comes with a big, heavy south wind. It might be time to wait and look for a big one. Me personally, I'm probably still going to be, I'm going to be dripped in the middle or just off the drop offs personally if I do it. But the flats are, if they're not alive already, they're about to start coming alive.
Are you throwing, if you were a conventional fishing, Scott, are you throwing top waters already? Have you stopped throwing top waters?
I never stopped throwing top waters, but
yeah, but you get my point. A lot of times you go plastic, when it's a little colder or whatever.
Yeah, it might be picking up a little bit on top waters, but I think I'd still stick with soft plastics. I've got a couple coming up Friday and Saturday, and looking like less than 10 mile an hour Friday and Saturday. Now Wednesday, you ain't gonna see me out there on Wednesday. There's kiteboarding weather going on there, but I would imagine, like Caleb said, the water's really going to come up quick with that 25 to 40 mile an hour wind that I'm seeing too. That's going to push a whole lot of water in. But I don't expect the fish to move way back into the back, even if the water came up a foot and a half.
Why not?
The fish, it's not time yet. Yeah, I don't think they're going to ride that all the way back up and, very far. So I'm going to stick to areas that are closer, somewhat, flats that are close to deep water. But, even if the water goes back into the back lakes, I don't think I'm going to venture back there. I don't see a whole lot of activity taking off back that way. I don't know. I could be wrong. If I don't see any out on the flats or along the edges of the I guarantee you that's where I'm going to be heading. I'll go as far back as I can. But typically, after it's been let low, it takes them a little bit before they'll start venturing off too far.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about spring coming up. I'm looking today. The forecast by tonight is 25 to 35 out of the south. And for the next 10 days, we have nothing but 10. Well, I mean, this weekend, the wind's lightening up this weekend, but you're still looking at 5 to 10. And when you get into reality, that's probably 8 to 15, right? But for the next 10 days is 10 to, let's call it 10 to 20. And that's all southeast and east. I mean, the spring tides are coming, and I'm pretty excited about them. Particularly since I have a tournament in a couple of weeks. And
what tournament you gonna be in?
It's the Rudy's. It's okay. Yeah, it's the Rudy's out of Matagorda. But yeah, no, I mean, we're about to be starting doing the cool stuff. Get some water up in the grass and start working on some spring patterns.
Dean, are they? Go ahead too. Glancing out, as far as 10 days. The lowest temperature I see is 66 and the highest is 70.
Woo, baby.
You can't get much more consistent than that. Day, night, doesn't matter. It's temperatures are the same. Yeah.
So with that in mind, Dean, are you still thinking drop-offs, or are you starting to change your
No, I'm back to up on the grass flats on the super shallow, drifting really fast today, man. But it's you put out 2 or 3 of the shootouts and it parks that boat, man. So I mean, it is drifting season coming up. It is time to get on the flats. And I got shootouts in stock. My inventory is full. Actually, a side note to the fishing show, talk to the guys at Anglers Anonymous. The plan is to get our first retail location for the shootout, which is going to be our guy Mike Butler in Katy, Texas, which is going to be huge stepping stone for this little shootout venture to hit the retail markets. And then I'm working with Jimmy Burns to get into the Victoria store also. But it's going to be a big part of the game. I mean, our wind down here blows into May, sometimes to June. So get used to it. I mean, you're going to have to deal with it. If you're going fishing, it's going to be windy. Slow your boat down, control your drift. And I mean, you can be very effective. But yes, top waters are back in action. I mean, it is not, I don't see it getting colder. We had a brief period there a month ago where they just weren't looking at top waters. Even I saw schools of reds that we were getting on soft plastics and experiment and throw a top water across there just for grins. They ain't coming up. They ain't looking at it. And the reason they don't do that is because the bait fish aren't doing that. There's nothing natural about that behavior when the water is that cold. Nothing is up on top moving fast. But Redfish Bay is custom made for topwater fishing. And the season is about 11 months out of the year.
It really is.
And we're past that 1 month.
You guys get some trips at the show?
Man, not a lot of trips specifically, but you talk to people that are going to come back and call you later.
All right, so
of course I did. I'm a guide.
Oh, you know what? The guide, the dude that I forgot to mention in the guide category is the one that walks around the fishing show with his calendar in his hand.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
And he tells everybody how booked he is, but he's still booking trips.
Yeah, that's another category right there.
Man, I forgot about that dude.
All right, so we started this show talking about Costa Rica.
Even though I did see him this week.
And yes, exactly. But we have a couple minutes here, so I want to go around the horn. We never got to the actual topic I had on Costa Rica, and that is the most memorable fight you've ever had.
You just aren't going to let this tuna story go, are you?
No. It's not about me. It's about you three. It's about you, Dean.
No, it sounds like it's about you, though.
No, we want to talk about you, Dean. The most memorable fight you've ever had with a fish. Do you remember one?
Well, the most memorable fight I've ever witnessed was you.
He's probably telling the truth at that point. I was dead. But you guys have anything that came to mind?
My most memorable fight lasted 4 seconds with a snook and a dock.
It was a big snook.
You said something when the show started about sacrificing the fish for the memory or something. I was like, is it sacrificing it if it's not your idea?
Well, technically, I guess it could be. I was thinking Scott might have had a good 120-pound, which was actually 60, by the way, tarpon story that he could maybe remember. It was 120 pounds, trust me. But you have a tarpon story?
They always look bigger when they're running away, John.
Some of my most memorable ones are like Caleb's talking about. They lasted just a few seconds. And Dean was sitting next to me on one of them, a big old topwater. Going back there in Cockroach Bay, we'd seen the snook just blow up on some bait getting washed around a corner. And I eased up there and threw a big topwater on it, red and white. And that sucker ate it and was gone into the trees as he ate it. There was no stopping him. That was a huge snook. And then offshore trolling, way back when I had my little 17-foot McKee crab, we were way too far out.
Yeah.
Out of Freeport. And we're trolling past a rig, and it was my turn on the rods. My buddy's driving my boat, and one of the rods went off, and it was bent so hard I couldn't get out of the rod holder. And I'm hollering at him, back it up, put it in neutral and back it, and then back up so I can get this thing going. He goes, I am. I looked around, and the boat was going backwards, and it still couldn't get it out of there. I finally got the rod out of the rod holder. Fish pulled me down onto my knees. I slid to the back end of the boat, and it snapped off. Actually, it didn't even snap off. It just quit.
Yeah.
I brought it up, and there was some tissue that was on the hook. That was all there was. The hook just pulled free. But that was a few seconds of, what the hell is this?
I wonder what it was.
I had no clue what that was. I mean, it was the strongest fish I've ever hooked.
Dean, you got to have one, buddy, before we get out of here.
Man, and nothing real, not one specifically, but every snook in the Everglades was memorable up against those roots. I mean, that is just, and you know, catching big redfish in the open water is badass. It is crazy. I mean, these fish are strong, they fight, but it's something about being up against the mangroves where you have your drag locked down to lockdown, because if that fish gets in the roots, it's over. And when they hit, it is full force. You're either going to get the fish out of the roots or you're not going to get the fish.
Yeah.
So those, and I have got to get back to that place, man. I've got to put that on my list of things that are mandatory to do this year.
Yeah. What are you laughing about, Scott?
I wanted Dean Snook over there. We were on opposite sides of this little island, and he came around the corner. He said, "Man, I hooked the biggest snook ever. It broke me off, and it was, you know, ate my top water and went into the trees and broke me off." And he's just going off about how big this snook was. And the next day we're fishing that same area, getting ready for a tournament. I go around the corner and there's this dead snook floating. It's like 15, 16 inches, and it's got his top water.
Oh no.
It was amazing.
Sideways.
It was the most amazing 15-inch snook you've ever hooked into in your life.
That son got shrunk like crazy after he died.
We were trolling the banks of the Colorado River, and Robert Jones was in front of me, and he called me. He's like, "Dude, I just lost a monster redfish. This thing, it was slot. It was slot, and I guarantee you, if it wasn't 10 pounds, it was, and it wasn't 30 seconds later. Me and Taylor behind him, and thump, I get hit, and we landed a fish with a brand new treble hook stuck in his mouth and a straight mouth split ring, and it was all like 21 inches and 5 pounds.
And the one that got away is always the
Always,
best.
it always grows. All right, boys. Terrific show today. Don't forget to book our guys here. I'm looking at you, Perry. But that's it for today. That was a cough. That's it for today. Don't forget to book our guys. I hit the cough button; it just didn't take. And we'll do it again, man. Don't forget to book them. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcast. And YouTube, you can go there as well, and certainly the Bite Me group page on Facebook. We get a lot of these topics from there. You guys have a fantastic time. I got a lot of editing to do on this podcast. I marked down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Our boys did it to me with a 4-letter word. I marked down 6 different times: 2240, 2632, 2703, 4236, 53, and 54. You guys were on a roll. You guys were on a roll today with the 4-letter.
I don't think any of those were me, were they?
I don't think they were. No, I think those
I
were
think
all.
I knocked out 4 or 5 of them.
Was it me? I was.
You did
I
2.
was kind of-
You did 2,
I was-
and Caleb did 4.
I was actually trying to be conscious about not doing that.
Well, that's what happens, man. That's what happens. You guys have a
It must have been on that tower boat thing.
Yes, it was. And guides, I marked it. You guys have a great week, great weekend. As I always say, catch them up. We'll talk to you next time.
Hey, John, did you know if you have a captain's license that a wake zone doesn't apply to you because you have a trip and you're feeding your family? But if you get fined, you get a discount on it because you're a guide.
That's right.